Hello and welcome to Tech 24 with me, Annelise Borges. Coming up, a big week for Apple. In today's show, we take a look at the latest announcements from its global showcase in California. And in Test 24, we check out the brand new Sony QX10, a very smart lens to capture high-resolution photos with your smartphone. But before we get to these stories, have you ever thought about how much electricity is used with a simple act of watching a video on a tablet or a smartphone? Let's take a look at electricity consumption in the tech world. The figure of the week is brought to you by Le Journal du Net.
Internet and the entire information communications technologies ecosystem use about 10% of the world's electricity, equaling the electric production of Japan and Germany combined. The servers needed to meet the demands of tech giants require so much energy that the simple act of watching an hour of video on a tablet or a smartphone consumes more electricity than a refrigerator for a whole year. The digital ecosystem has become an energy ogre.
This week, Apple is expected to reveal 2 new iPhones, and if rumors are true, a phablet and a smartwatch. All from a global showcase at its headquarters in Cupertino, California, plus events in Tokyo, Berlin, and for the first time, Beijing. Mark Edwards joins me now to help us understand the significance of Apple's big week. Mark, let's start with Apple's Chinese charm offensive. The company has been preparing for a big push on the massive and booming Chinese smartphone market for some months. And now it looks like if it's ready, they're scheduled to release a cheaper handset aimed at the Chinese market, the iPhone 5C.
Well, the truth is, China, Annelise, is Apple's second biggest market outside of North America. However, in terms of smartphones, their penetration there is less than 5%. They're up against their perennial rivals, Samsung, and then all the local brands such as Huawei, ZTE, and Lenovo. And this iPhone 5C really could help them because the iPhone right now in China is seen as very much a luxury product out of the reach of the majority of consumers. It is very expensive. And therefore, having this iPhone 5C, 5 cheap, if you will, could give them much more penetration in that market. But particularly, the big thing that they've been trying to work on, and Tim Cook, this charm offensive that we're talking about, is partnering up with China Mobile. China Mobile, the biggest wireless carrier in the world, doesn't offer iPhones. And so basically Apple doesn't have any chance of getting 700 million Chinese consumers. And if rumors are to be if the truth is, Wall Street Journal reported last week that they had actually come together and they worked out a deal, and they will have access to that. And I think that's going to be huge for Apple in China. Let's not forget, Apple only has 11 stores there, and they're hoping to double that in the next 2 years.
Right, we're expecting 2 new iPhones, but there are also rumors of a phablet and a smartwatch that the public is already calling an iWatch. Do we know more about that?
Well, the phablet, it's quite likely. It's a strange concept, really, that the iPhone is the only member of the Apple family that doesn't actually do screen sizes and varying screen sizes. And you just need to take a look at the Samsung success in that area to think, well, why hasn't the iPhone been doing this? Now, again, more rumors, but Reuters reported in June that they'd heard that Apple was trying out between 4.7-inch to 5.7-inch phones, screen sizes, and that the Wall Street Journal in July said they'd be doing all sorts of tests up to 5.7 inches. So I think it's pretty likely. If we're talking about the iWatch, now, rumours again back in February that Apple have got an entire team working on developing a smart watch, but also, and this is probably more tellingly, they went for a trademark patent in Japan for the name, for the brand name iWatch back in June. So I think that's also right up there.
It's promising. Speaking of smartwatches, Samsung got a lot of attention with its Galaxy Gear smartwatch unveiled last week at IFA in Berlin. Do you agree with certain market analysts that are saying that smartwatches are a logical evolution to smartphones?
I think that in some respects that's true, because these days it's exceedingly hard to differentiate between different smartphones. I mean, the majority of your high-end, your mid to high-end smartphones do more or less the same things, bar a couple of bells and whistles. So it's probably up to this next generation of accessories to more or less give that innovation and differentiation. personally not too sold on the smartwatch as of now. At the moment, I love looking at my watch. I can't think of having a fourth thing I have to plug in after my iPhone, my iPad, and my MacBook that I actually have to plug in then my watch every night to be charged. But to be honest, it should be, I think, the evolution of smartphones and into smartwatches.
Yeah, personally, I'm a little bit skeptical as well. I don't see myself answering phone calls like that, or in any case. Thanks for that, Mark. We're going to have to move on now because it's time for Test 24. The Sony QX10 and QX100 look like simple lenses, but are actually cameras that connect to your smartphone to take higher resolution pictures with better optical zoom. Both were unveiled last week at IFA in Berlin, and Mark Edwards managed to get hold of one for Tech24's test segment. Mark, how exactly does it work? Because I noticed it's not physically connected to the phone.
No, it doesn't need to be. Very, very simple. You just download the free application from your App Store, your Google Play, your Android Store, and very simply, wirelessly done via Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or NFC, and that's it. I mean, it's so simple. And the great thing is, the image quality really is incredible. We took a couple of stills earlier on, and I think hopefully you can see they are.
Let's have a look at some of the clicks.
Far superior. And the bottom line is, I mean, this is 18.6 megapixels. I mean, that is huge. That is huge. It has a 10 times optical zoom, not a numerical zoom. And the great thing is, you can get, I mean, the quality here. If you have I mean, I'm not sure if you can see that. But the great thing is, you know, if you take this to a concert, for instance, I could be taking a nice little shot there, you're playing the lead at the top, and then, you know, you don't need to have to be waving your phone up in the air. Really, really enjoyed it. Only problem is, it doesn't have a flash. Which can be a slight issue, but the camera does work better in darker light than a standard camera phone. So from that point of view, I thought it was very good. I thought the QX10 is something that I would look at purchasing.
Because the price range, you were commenting on the price range, you were not very happy about the price of the QX100.
QX100 is probably going to be around at least 400 euros. QX10 at 200 euros, you're thinking, yeah, that could be a good add-on to my phone. It can be attached to any phone. If you're looking at the price range of the QX100, you might as well, potentially, if you really want to get some great photos, buy your own SLR. That would be my personal view.
And how did you rate the QX10?
QX10, loved it, and it's got I think one of the highest for the year in terms of scores. We had design, beautiful, 8 out of 10, easy to add to any phone, very simple to use, really took seconds to learn how to do it. Value for money, 8 out of 10. Overall, simple, 8 out of 10. Great product.
I might be keeping this one this time.
I think you'll have some competition there for the two of us.
Thanks for that, Mark, and thank you for watching this edition of Tech24. You can get in touch with us via Facebook or on Twitter. Our hashtag is Tech24. We leave you today with images of a Japanese artist reproducing art masterpieces on his iPad. Seiko Yamaoka, a Japanese office worker from Osaka, has created a name for himself as a maestro in finger painting. His skills with digital art have made him something of an internet sensation, with each of his YouTube videos getting over 100,000 hits. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.